You know, a lot of people were talking about the showcase with Starfield, and I think with good reason. We're starting to finally see Microsoft's games be able to show themselves in a manner that befits a great company with a great product. And don't kid yourself, the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S are both great products. Now, when it comes down to it, I think Microsoft really had to kind of bite the bullet and just let time pass and let the game developers cook. And that's exactly what they've done. We saw some amazing Starfield gameplay. They did a huge deep dive that was almost as long as the Xbox showcase itself, which is tremendous if you think about it. Obviously, they dropped the news that it was only going to be 30 frames per second on Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S, as they're going all in for the fidelity. A lot of people are questioning this. Clearly, if you have a high-end PC, you'll be able to get 60 frames. You might have to turn down some things, but I think overall, the whole idea that Bethesda laid before us was that they created this game and they probably didn't want to run this game at below 720p with low textures and muddy frames and things like that. I think that was the smart move for them to do. There's no defending it. Like, I would have preferred 60. I thought maybe at a particular time there would be 60, but there's not. But I thought it was funny that so many PlayStation fans were making fun of it. So I thought I would do a quick graphic analysis and see how the game looks on Xbox Series X versus how it looks on PlayStation 5. Now, what we're seeing is some quality Xbox Series X footage right here. And, you know, when it comes down to it, I think the Xbox Series X gets a lot of flack because people think that, you know, because you say you have a console that's the most powerful console, that it means that everything should do this or everything should do that. That's clearly not the case. Clearly not the case. Now, when it comes down to it and we look at the PlayStation 5 version of Starfield, we see that it is clearly lacking in the overall detail and the fundamental aspects that make a game great. I just don't think the PS5 can handle such a fantastic game, such a well-scoped game. This is probably the part where, you know, Mark Cerny kind of failed everybody because he created a console that just obviously isn't going to be able to run this game properly. I think if you're looking for a console to play Bethesda's next masterpiece, their first new IP in 25 years, it's pretty damn clear that you're going to have to definitely run this on an Xbox Series X or an Xbox Series S. The good news is for PlayStation fans is they like spending money. They love spending money. You know, hey, raise game prices, raise prices of the console itself. Sure, why not? So go out and get yourselves an Xbox Series S and enjoy it. You know, I think it's going to be a good time for everybody across the board because obviously the Xbox version is looking quite fine. And I have to say, it's honestly looking more and more like an upgrade for the Xbox Series X version of this game. And that's something that you don't see very often. You know, and realistically, an upgrade to what we saw last year, I think, is phenomenal. And Microsoft has really done a pretty good job of making sure that, you know, fans have some pretty things to look at. I know everybody was all up in arms about, you know, graphics, and things like that. But at the end of the day, I still feel like it's, you know, important to have a game to actually go out there and, you know, say, hey, this is going to be like the future of Xbox. And I think that Starfield could be, you know, and it's so funny to me because they confirmed that Skyrim has sold 60 million copies. You know, you've got Fallout, and then you have this potential hit, which, by the way, is #1 on the Steam chart pre-orders already. So people are buying this game. This game will probably sell millions of copies, even though it's on Game Pass, and that's kind of an irrelevant stat. Millions of people are going to play it. It's probably going to be the most successful Game Pass game. It's probably going to be a hugely successful game for Bethesda, and that is fantastic, especially if you bought an Xbox Series X and you were wondering, hey, did I make the right choice? Did I really? Like, if you're wondering if you made the right choice between an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5, this game probably clears that up pretty quickly for yourself. Now, will we continue to see great stuff? I mean, the only problem with Bethesda and the only issue that they're going to have going forward is going to be the fact that, you know what? What do you do if this game is a huge hit, like an even bigger hit than everybody's projecting, right? What do you do? Do you make the sequel? Do you work on DLC? You know, do you go back and do you make the next Elder Scrolls? Do you, like, when's Fallout coming? I think this is something that they really have to look at. Now, I know what some of you are saying as you're looking at this gorgeous footage. You're saying, well, CG, what happens if, you know, maybe they expand or get extra studios? I mean, that's obviously something that you could do. But the last thing you want to see is like a 10-year wait between these games, because I don't want to be 80 by the time I get, you know, the next like Elder Scrolls or whatever. You know, so again, all those PlayStation fanboys that are trying to mock Xbox, it's pretty clear. Like, listen, I said this yesterday, and I pretty much stand by this, which is, if you don't care about a game or if you're not interested in a game, you're not going to talk about it, right? You're not going to talk about it. There's plenty of games that I'm not interested in. I'm not sitting there talking about it nonstop or hating on it. The fact that so many PlayStation fanboys do nothing but bash Starfield, it really tells you where their mindset is at. And guess where their mindset is at? Their mindset is at on hating Starfield because they're jealous that they can't play it. So many of these people are fraudulent because while they're PlayStation fans, and there's nothing wrong with that, a lot of them were hyping up Starfield previously. Because before Microsoft bought ZeniMax, it was rumored and pretty much confirmed that Sony was in talks to get Starfield exclusivity on the PlayStation 5. Like sort of the year exclusivity that they got with Deathloop and also Ghostwire Tokyo. So, we know that they did get exclusivity there. So all these fans wanted Starfield. And now they see how amazing this game looks. I think it had, like, people are all convinced that Zelda has, you know, Game of the Year locked, right? My only point to that would be Zelda, it's fine, I'm sure, right? The performance issues, whatever, fine. Same map, whatever. But this is a brand new IP doing things that we've never seen before in the RPG genre. So I feel like it deserves a little bit of an extra look. I think that this game is 100% going to score 90 at least on Metacritic, possibly higher. And I think that, you know, it has a real chance to go in there and win Game of the Year, right? I mean, look, people have a chance to really speak for a change, right? We don't need the same old, same old. I'm not saying that Zelda's bad or Final Fantasy's bad or what have you, but people have a real voice this year to say, hey, new stuff is awesome and gaming is better than ever. You know, we don't have to rely so much on the old stuff. But again, PlayStation version of this game, not quite holding up. A little bit too dark in my opinion. Can't quite make things out. Xbox Series X, if you're a console gamer, the only way to play. Thanks for watching. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. Crap Gamer out.